Hey guys, this is our October 7th Raw review. And the best thing about Raws like this is the moment when it's over and you're not to sit through it. Man, was this bad. This was real bad. Michael Jackson. And now I'm mad, real mad Joe Jackson. But I had time to cool down. Doing this a little bit later. So I'm just not going to hold back though. I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat things. Starts off the show with Stephanie not doing her job. There's not it's not good. Just recaps what happened last night. Ask the Big Show to justify her action, because that's what this is about at the end of the day, guys. It's about the Big Show and Triple H. Which, if you haven't seen our Triple H That Kingdom Come DVD review, watch that. Shout out to everyone who commented on it with the code WORLD. I might pull it up at the end of this. Depends. I want you to know off the dome and I'll pull it up, but whatever. It was this not a good opening segment. If I wasn't committed to reviewing this, fast forward, get the Big Show off of my television, get Stephanie off my television. There's people who I like to hate, there's people I don't like to hate. I don't like hating either of them. I wish they would just go away. At this point, the Big Show's not doing anything for anybody, and Stephanie is just burying people. But here's the thing. They tried to justify what happened yesterday at Battleground like it's some awesome thing. I mean, it's some awesome thing that they can sit there and make the Big Show apologize, and everything will be good again. Everything will be great. All of us who spent 3 hours on a Sunday night watching that will get a good warm feeling in our heart that we spent our time wisely, and that we watch Raw on Monday. We're watching a quality program. Watching not a quality program, but quality program, which it's not. It's not at this point. I have theories about them. I'll save them for a second though, because next up we have Dolph the Man that the company forgot against Damien Sandow, and Dolph wins via Famouser because Sandow isn't working. Why would you try to make him work later then? If he's not over now with what you want him to do, and he's not something worth value at this point, why let him keep the briefcase? Why not at least have that as an incentive for us to watch? It's just like, Damien Sandow. It has to put the briefcase on the line if he keeps losing. Then all of a sudden his matches mean something. And all of a sudden there's a storyline to him, but it's not just him versus Dolph, just for nothing. Or hey, if Dolph beats him, Dolph gets a shot at Alberto Del Rio at Hell in a Cell. All of a sudden I'm paying attention. But they didn't like doing that. Because what? Here's what I would do. First thing I would do is I would have authority figure A, whoever you want it to have, come out, and this is not for them to get heat, but they'll probably try to do it anyway. Come out and say, the board of directors, whatever higher deity has voted, and Damien Sandow, you have until you lose 5 more televised matches on Raw, SmackDown, main event. That'll be the 3. We won't count in NXT or Superstars because those really don't exist. If you lose 5 matches on that, your briefcase goes up into a Money in the Bank match at the next pay-per-view. All of a sudden, you can't have this guy go on a losing streak, but every time he loses, you get to see him have some sort of character build where it's like he becomes more ruthless because he can't lose the next one. And people, idea number 2. And if you beat Damien Sandow and you're one of the 5, you are in that Money in the Bank match. All of a sudden, I've solved their issue with Damien Sandow. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, crap, he's already lost. Well, imagine this scenario. He's lost 4 times. Next time he loses it, he cannot cash it in, and there's a Money in the Bank match at the next pay-per-view. First off, every match he's in from there out is going to have equal importance. Every match the World Heavyweight Championship is in at that point is going to have paramount importance. So you have these things that are very important. You're going to have somewhat of a storyline built towards it, and people are going to be lined up to fight him. He's not going to want to lose, so he's going to do everything he can to lose. The fans are going to be interested because, whoa, what's going on? It's a win-win-win for every single person involved. He goes to cash it in. One of the 4 people goes and knocks him out. Imagine that. Imagine if after winning this, Dolph Ziggler has a shot at the Money in the Bank briefcase at the next pay-per-view if Sandow loses that many more times. Sandow goes to run out and cash in. Dolph Ziggler comes, hits him with the zigzag because he wants that opportunity. All of a sudden, you have something worth watching. But, of course, they don't do that. So next up, Brad Maddox has to go out, or that's an inside thing. Brad Maddox is the fall guy for Sunday because it was his fault, not creatives. Let's put on Brad Maddox. Next up, we had Oksana, Alicia Fox, and Rose Mendez against Natalia, Eva Marie, and JoJo in a match that was probably so they could sell Total. I mean, it's probably a story for Total Divas. This is you guys' first match, and hopefully the storyline afterwards goes, man, Eva Marie sucks. What do you expect? Because she's been wrestling for like what, less than a year. You expect most people after wrestling less. She's not somebody who's going to naturally pick it up and be awesome in a year. Her footwork is very bad. She doesn't sell things properly. She doesn't throw things properly. Because she probably has spent her time learning 3 moves good enough to where if she were to do those moves, it doesn't look bad. Oh. And she's really filming a photo shoot and all that stuff to actually learn how to wrestle. Shots fired. Natalia wins via sharpshooter. Bang, bang. Shots fired again. So Brad Maddox books a Hell in a Cell main event and announces that there's going to be a special guest referee for that. Hell in a Cell, Daniel Bryan against Randy Orton. The 3 guys that are nominated during the show are Booker T, Bob Backlund, and Shawn Michaels. Who would they pick? Stay tuned. I'll get there soon, I promise. I'm not going to talk about things that don't matter. Los Matadores versus defeated 3MB. El Torito is pretty awesome. And he's something that is different and you want to watch when he comes on the screen. Because how many midgets, I'm just going to say it, because I don't want to say little people. I think it's called midget wrestling. It's not called little people wrestling. How many midgets out there hit the little Hurricane Ranas, man? There's a lot, actually. When you can take a step back and look, there's a whole lot of midget wrestlers out there. But since Hornswoggle, we haven't had anything fresh or new with it. And this little guy just in a bull outfit, and he has some swagger. I respect it. Los Matadores is not good, but they're not bad enough to where they're going to get taken off TV. El Torito can't shine, so good for them. Thank you. Next up, we have another thing I'm kind of sort of mad about. We continue to do this stupid Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel, and Ryback thing that is not going anywhere and not doing any favors. In fact, it's kind of killing Punk's heat a little bit. I mean, Punk's pop. It's not. Why would I care about CM Punk if he's sitting there just fighting some personal battle? Paul Heyman thinks he's the best in the world. No, that's CM Punk. Okay. Really? You're going to follow this level and just keep doing this? I don't get it. I don't get why. I don't get why they're throwing this out there, or they're still throwing it out there. I don't know why. I don't know why Punk, who probably at some point has enough pull to where he probably okayed this, and he probably okayed it for it to continue on, hasn't pulled the plug and said, you know what, no, they need me other places. The fact that I'm here and not there is like in Good Will Hunting when Ben Affleck walks up to Matt Damon. I don't care what their characters' names are. There's always Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. It's an autobiography. It's a Matt Damon documentary, let's be honest. Good Will Hunting's a great movie. And Ben Affleck says, you know what? Screw you, man. You don't have to go there for you. Go somewhere for me. Because I would kill to have what you have. And here you are just throwing it away. Here Punk is possibly the most over guy since John Cena in the first hour main event fighting against Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel, and Ryback. Guys who don't have any business feuding with CM Punk at this point. Guys who are trying to put them with Punk to get the rub off. But you don't. It's like if you were. It's let me put it another way. Here's another analogy for you guys. You have some ice cream, right? Inside, you have all these different toppings for it. You can sit there and you can try to make a banana split. But if you only have bananas, you're just going to put bananas in your ice cream? No. It's stupid. If you only have peanuts, you're not going to put just peanuts on your ice cream. If you only have whipped cream, you're not just going to put just whipped cream on there. There has to be the chocolate part, or else it's not a sundae. It's just an ice cream and fruit. It's not good. Think about that. You have the foundation in CM Punk for an awesome thing. So what are they going to do? Instead of mixing it with another awesome ice cream, like let's just say he fought Del Rio, because Del Rio's no, never mind, that would suck too. Say Ziggler would have won the World Heavyweight Championship or something like that instead of Rob Van Dam fighting him this past week, and he's fighting Ziggler for it. All of a sudden, you have your ice cream that's awesome, and then another ice cream that's all right. You wouldn't eat it on your own, but you're going to have more fond memories for it because it's in this great mix of ice creams. You're like, oh, cool. But you're sitting there and you're trying to like make bananas look good by putting it with ice cream. You have to realize you have to put other things with it. Ryback's a banana. In terms of things, it's like on your own, you're like, okay, cool, banana. You're not eating a banana for dessert unless you're my buddy Cliff, who would. Cliff's a fan of the show, so I give him a shout out there. But why? Why is CM Punk still doing this? R-Truth. Oh, so this turned into a tag match. And CM Punk and R-Truth take on Curtis Axel and the Ryback. Curtis Axel gets pinned by R-Truth, and life goes on. This next match actually caused me to pause it and go take a nap for a little bit. So I was watching it delayed anyway. I wasn't in touch with the Twitter feed. I was just mad. I'm just mad right now. It's like they're reshuffling the deck. And I'll just get into my next theory right now. WWE, when Cena was out, was dealt a hand. WWE they're the king of trying to go for the straight flush. They're the king. They got dealt a 5 and a 6 of spades. And along with that, they had an ace, a 10, and a 2 of hearts. If you're playing 5-card draw, you don't sit there and try to go for the straight flush with the connectors. Because you're sitting there trying to draw 3 cards to it? No. You draw to the flush, hope it happens. It's like not the best odds in the world, but you're playing 5-card draw, so your odds aren't ever good at all. And if you hit it, that's awesome. But you don't sit there and try to draw to what you used to have when you had John Cena, which was probably a straight flush in terms of wrestling. I might be too good of an analogy, but whatever. You don't sit there and throw away the 3 hearts that you have, including one of them being the ace of hearts and Daniel Bryan, and say, you know what? We have the Big Show. We have Triple H. We're going to try to do this. No. Randy Orton is the 10 of hearts. You keep that, you keep the ace of hearts, and you say, we're going to outkick somebody even if it comes down to a flush if we hit this thing. But they're not, because they're trying to hit the straight flush, which is guaranteed money. Why is Randy Orton even in a match with Kofi Kingston, who just lost in his last pay-per-view? Why? What's the point? And why is Randy Orton not like just beating the crap out of him and showing how dangerous he is? So Orton wins. There's no reason why it even happened. I watched the entire thing and I regret it. Because the next part is the only thing that mattered. Was Daniel Bryan came out and beat up Randy Orton. Because that's what he's mad about. Now he's not mad about the Big Show knocking out this stuff, because he understands it. He understands that family comes first and all that stuff. He's not mad about that. He's not mad about the referee stuff. He's not mad at Scarlett Armstrong for being back. None of that. He's not mad at Brad Maddox for setting it up. He's mad at Randy Orton because he had him beat again. I don't get it. I don't get that for 1 second. I don't get why Randy Orton would be sitting there. I don't get why he'd be. I don't get why he's fighting Kobe. I don't get why you book a guy in the main event and throw him at the 9:30 slot. You throw him at the 9:30 slot halfway through the show, not even the main event hour spot. and expect that when next time he comes out, people are going to care about him in the main event of something. Oh, but wait, here comes their saving grace. Yeah, here comes. Oh, cool. They drew a 7 of spades. They're open-ended now. Great. That's the first card they. Now they got that 7 of spades, and they're open-ended for the straight flush draw. Cool. If they get a flush, it's going to be a weak flush, but it's still going to be a flush. Or it could still be a straight. But it could be a straight flush. Because that's what we think we're going to have with John Cena. John Cena's coming back to fight Alberto Del Rio at Hell in a Cell. Because that's a smart thing to do when you tear your tricep. Is come back after surgery 2 months later. No, it's stupid. I don't. It's him putting A, his career in, and B, he's putting himself under a whole lot of scrutiny because there's no way in hell you tear your tricep, get surgery on it, and come back, and it's healthy enough for you to wrestle in a month and a half. I'm sorry. Are you juicing, John Cena? I'm gonna throw that out there right now. If you're gonna wrestle in 2 weeks, you did some shady stuff to get back because humans don't do that. You've passed human world. You're in God mode. Yeah. But apparently that's what they're gonna do to save Del Rio, because he is the worst world heavyweight champion of the past. I don't know how long. Probably since JBL carried it for I don't know how long, and their stock price dropped and their ratings dropped like crazy. I don't. Yeah. And Vicky's somehow a face for throwing John Cena back at him. What's Ricardo doing in the mix? Is he going to end up coming back and screwing over John Cena? Who knows? Who cares? It's just crap. They're just trying to hit. They're trying to hit that magic again. They're trying to hit that magic. They're out there trying to drop that straight flush. That's them being the number 1 Latino show in the world. Every Latino in the United States and Mexico is tuning in to Raw every week because Alberto Del Rio is great. They don't watch AAA, which is an A in their own language, B in their own place every single. I don't know. They probably run weekly. Probably run twice a week. Let's be honest. At Arena Mexico. Why would they watch that with their homegrown stars when they can watch Big Show and Stephanie McMahon talking English and Big Show get real mad? Ooh, but no. For 15 minutes of show on a 3-hour show, they're going to get Alberto Del Rio, and he has a big gold belt. They'll watch for that, right? Yeah, no. No. Even if he's the face of WWE, they're going to alienate so many more people than they're going to get. It's not worth it. They need the sunk cost. Take their chips, put them in their pocket, walk away from the table, and go home. When it comes to the Del Rio hand. Nothing there. If there was something there, we would have seen it by now. You give them the expensive car gimmick. Nothing. You give them the fighting patriot, a fighting immigrant gimmick against probably the ultimate heat drawer in the company right on the microphone, Zeb Coulter. Nothing. Give him multiple opportunities to do something. What is he doing now? He's just a guy with the championship who is somewhat mean but doesn't sell anything. I don't know. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's pull the plug on him. I would. Yeah. I won't hold back. Next up. So that was the anonymous Raw general manager telling me to be nicer. Nope. Next up was Zack Ryder vs. Fandango. And exhibit, I don't know, F at this point, of why Fandango is a guy who has so much momentum and has stayed at the same spot. Because when you do the same things, you stay at the same spot. There's no reason to care about Fandango more than what you do now, because there's no reason he's going to do anything more, because he's not doing anything more than he was doing. He's been the same, show up in the middle of the card, dance around, hit a leg drop, get some boos, get some cheers, heel dance along. Nothing. Nothing. When everything else is stagnant, titles not switching hands, IC title sucks. Why is he sitting where he's at? Why are you getting Del Rio opportunity number 3 against a guy like John Cena when you have people like Fandango who, for some reason, sorry, not the general manager, saying for some reason. The reason why people care about Fandango is because Fandango believes in Fandango, and you can see it. And when you watch Fandango, you're not getting the same stuff you saw for the last 2.5 hours. You're not in the same situation for the past 5 years. You get something different, you get something unique, and people like that. Want to know why? Because no one tunes into Raw to see the same thing every single week with no build. So you take a guy who's different and let him do the exact same thing. Why? I don't know. Oh, so my boy Shawn Michaels is a guest referee because he did such a great job calling it down the line at WrestleMania 28. I always get 27, 28 numbers. Why? I was confused. Whatever. Yeah, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28. He was so down the line. And that era ended. But we've seen all three in the same capacity later on. We've seen Triple H in matches. We've seen Undertaker in matches. And now we're going to see Shawn Michaels repping a match at Hell in a Cell. What era ended? It was a nice thing to put on a t-shirt. I sell t-shirts. Yeah, I'm sure WWE sells a whole lot of those. A whole lot. But they're doing whatever they can to try to spike the buy rates. I'm pretty sure they got the early buy rates back from Battleground, and they were atrocious. And that's why they rushed Cena back. That's why HBK is here, and that's why you'll hear my last thing in a minute. So WWE airs the tag match from last night, except a tiny bit different. Except after Cesaro wins, he goes and swings Hornswoggle, and Santino Cobra's him, and Cobra's Jack Swagger. And they stand triumphant, meaning they'll continue to do the same thing. Because it's such an awesome spot, they're going to continue to do it. Which is awesome, because here you are, guys, you're trying to get over as heels. You have them winning with the crowd chanting, counting along, and having a great time. Why not give Cesaro an opportunity to fight Del Rio? I got the Swagger earlier. It made no sense. Cesaro's a man. There's a dude you give the ball to and see how far he'll run with it. Yeah. Well, I've talked about them doing different stuff, and this next segment is them trying to do it. The Miz has Miz TV, ripped by Bray Wyatt, and as Bray Wyatt goes to beat him up, Miz runs, escapes Bray Wyatt, runs away. So I'm guessing they're going to get a match at Hell in a Cell. That's going to be built a little better than him and Kofi. So he'll have 2 weeks of build now. Yep, that's what you do. You have another unique guy like Bray Wyatt. Move him from Kofi to The Miz, but give it 2 weeks this time. Yeah. Sorry, that's always being sarcastic. It's stupid that they're sitting there. They're not putting him in a longer package with somebody that matters. Not having him terrorize someone that people actually like. Nope. They're trying to get him over as a heel by having him fight the faces that people don't really cheer for all that much. And do it his way. Do it in a not creepy way, but just kind of in a Bray Wyatt way. Smart, WWE. Sorry, not being sarcastic. That's stupid. It's a bad idea. This is going to backfire, and it's going to blow up. And you're going to be sitting there, and it's going to be one of those things where it's like, man, remember Bray Wyatt? They really dropped the ball on that guy. And it will happen. You guys heard it here first. I'm holding back no punches. Here comes the last thing. Triple H says, "Ugh, I'm going to come out. I'm going to make sure that nothing bad happens." Recipe for disaster. Triple H, if you stay back there, just let things take care of itself. That'll be best for business. Because unless you're going to put on your boots, put on a match, and show these guys what you can do. That Kingdom Come wasn't about you as a GM, about you as a wrestler. Where apparently you're the greatest thing that ever lived, according to that, and according to a lot of people, myself included, probably the best of all time. And Legends have such a great time coming back and getting booed. Why are you in the storyline? Why are you being an authority figure as a heel? We said the same said the same crap when you fought CM Punk at Night of Champions 2011. Why is he coming back as a heel? No one's gonna boo him. No one cares. Like we don't care about him versus Kevin Nash. We don't care about him versus The Big Show. This is what killed WCW. Those guys who were in their 40s. That people had already A, seen the feud before, and B, if they wanted to see it, it probably would have happened by now. That's what killed it. You killed it when it wasn't, when it was guys like Jericho were leaving as opposed to being the guy to run with it. You have your Jericho and Daniel Bryan. When guys like DDP were stuck here instead of going up to here, even though the crowd loved them, that might be your Randy Orton. In fact, their comparison to Randy Orton, I'm totally missing out on. But the reason why all your WCW guys left early to WWF at the time ended up getting better. Do you want to know why? Because instead of it being something awesome, you pulled the Starrcade 97. And that's what they're trying to do right now. You're saying, oh man, we want there to be a next top guy. You're sitting there, Daniel Bryan. Ace of Hearts. As good as it gets. As good as it gets in terms of reaction, in terms of wrestling, in terms of getting the person he's fighting over, in terms of making people care. In terms of probably selling merch, he's probably super high up there because you keep putting out shirts with him. Yeah, he's as good as it gets, but that's not the focus. No, he's not the one laying out Triple H here at the end of this. Because here's what happened: you guys have seen every single Shield match that they've lost. Crash out, crash out, crash out. Daniel Bryan along with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets locked in, and then the Shield comes in there, hits him with the chair. So they don't get an actual loss; they get a DQ loss. Triple H restarts it. And then Orton comes out of the crowd, RKO's Daniel Bryan as somewhat of, because that's what he's mad about. He doesn't know what he's mad about. He's the ultimate punk rock guy, is Randy Orton. He has no idea who he's mad at, what he's mad about. He's just mad. Daniel Bryan's the same thing. That's what's awesome. Neither of them are mad about a single thing that they should be mad about. Yet, we are here in the reality era. Supposed to believe that these guys who are supposedly as real as it gets are doing this. No, this is stupid. Anyway, the Big Show comes out, even though he got fired earlier in the night, and destroys the Shield because, yeah, great idea. I'm sorry, no sarcasm. That's a stupid idea. That's an awful idea. These guys should have broken up by now because you need their depth across the entire thing. You can just save the tag division. You can do that with the Usos. The Usos are good enough to get over to save the tag division. You need, imagine if it was Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose who had just broken off from the Shield, feuding for that U.S. title. Imagine if Roman Reigns was the Paul Heyman guy and not Ryback, a guy who probably looks like he could destroy Punk because you haven't seen him act like little Punk before. Imagine if that was the case. But no, these guys are stuck in the same spot. Right here in purgatory. They're too good for the mid-card. Let's be entirely honest. They're too good for the mid-card. People know enough about them. They care enough about them. Where they should be higher, but they can't be higher. Because you can't put a trio higher unless it has someone like Hulk Hogan in there. Even then, you have to have the trio be layered, and one person has to be in the mid-card. No, these guys are a group of three. So they're going to run up. TLC 2012 was the only time they moved to the main event of the evening. It was awesome. Imagine if it was just one of those guys, and the next two guys were in the matches before. Man, the Shield can't interrupt because they're all beat up from the time before. So all of a sudden, is this the time? Is this where their leader A, whoever you want to pick, goes down? But no, they're not doing that. That's not a good idea according to them. I think it's a great idea. I'm not going to be sarcastic because you can hide so much animosity through sarcasm, and I'm not doing that. This is stupid. The Big Show is the worst heel face of all time. Talk about guys who can't draw. I see the Big Show come on, fast forward. Unless I'm reviewing it, then I have to watch it, which sucks. But you guys deserve, because I know a lot of you guys are sitting here and you'd rather watch me talk about it for 30 minutes than watch this crap. I'll tell you what you guys should watch. Los Matadores ending. That's really the only thing that I can pull away and you can say, you should watch that. That's vital. Because the storylines, that's what's going to sell them. People that buy into the wrestling programs, they don't care about the wrestling action. They don't care if things are definitive. They don't care about people actually, building a character through that. They want to see the Big Show. We don't want to see the Big Show. We don't want to see Triple H as a heel authority figure. He's God. No one hates God besides atheists. And atheists are not the majority. Stop pandering to them where they like to hate God. Stop thinking they're who you're trying to get. Let me know what you guys. Let me know what you guys thought. Opening up that box, you guys are gonna probably eat this alive because I've not been. I haven't even been cracking jokes. I've given you guys a couple of metaphors. And the best thing about this show was that it's over right now. I don't have to watch it again. I have to watch NXT on Thursday when it comes out and be happy again with the wrestling program that makes sense, builds characters, has solid feuds, and has people who want to be there. Half this roster doesn't want to be there. How are you supposed to want to be there when you're gone 300 days a week, 300 days a month, 300 days a year? You know what I meant. You guys all know what I meant. Come on, don't give me this crap. I'm sorry, my mind. I hit the 30-minute mark and my mind stopped. Like this video. Come on, man. If you watched this far, if you haven't liked it yet, you should just like it. Even if you didn't like it. Because we're saying it like it is. We're not sitting here. I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, it sucked. I'm saying this sucked because, and laying it out and saying this is what they should be doing different. This is why. This is how people would care about Damian Sandow. This is how people would care about Dolph Ziggler. This is how people would care about all this stuff. Nah. That's stupid. Why would you do that? Sorry, no sarcasm. It's a great idea. They should just stop getting in their own way and let guys forge their own paths and give the ball to someone. And also, John Cena, come on, dude. Torn tricep, you're a month and a half? No way in hell. Kid also do it beforehand. Coming off surgery is a lot longer than it's a lot tougher to come off surgery and come back than it is, especially with a muscle like a tricep. I don't buy it. Either he's not wrestling at Hell in a Cell, it's going to be the ultimate bait and switch, and people are going to be pissed, or hustle, loyalty, respect doesn't have the honesty in there. But at least he's back. He'll save. He's not going to save the show because you guys have shown that you guys don't like to pull the plug on stuff. Hence why Del Rio is still the World Heavyweight Champion. Stupid. Bad show.